everything I find humor in. I look at the fellows that are sailors and they couldn't play cards because they were always standing on the deck. I tell jokes that you can tell to your grandchildren and to your mother. Otherwise, I don't tell them. I might know some, but I don't tell them. That I find humor in this neighborhood. You're always stopped by trains. So recently, we were stopped by a train, and a truck came along and had all kinds of rugs. And I thought, there's a couple things you can do with rugs. You can step all over or beat them. But finally, after the train went by, guess what? The train left its tracks. That I think of different things that I used to say all the time, and I'll tell you the difference between an Irish wake and an Irish wedding is one less drunk.
Amen.
Years ago, Pat and Mike had come from Ireland, and they were in New York, and they were in one of the high-rise buildings. And all of a sudden, on a Saturday night, they're having a few Irish pops together. And that they're having a good time by themselves. Finally, all of a sudden, they hear the fire engines, they hear the sirens, they hear so much racket in New York, which is loud to begin with. And all of a sudden, Mike looks out the window and he says, "Hurry up, Pat, hurry up, you gotta see this." And they both look out the window, all the red trucks and all the policemen and all the people down there. He says, "Guess what? They're moving hell down below." I can say at the end here, I think I spent my 10 minutes, but I enjoyed all the music.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all the playing of the instruments and stuff. I don't know how to play anything, but to throw a ball or something.
Just our heartstrings.
Yeah, heartstrings. But what one bulb said to the other, "I love you a lot." So that's it.
Aww, yeah.
Different things about our beautiful Lake Michigan. It's very rich. It has banks on each side. And the deepest place in the lake is at the bottom. Some of these jokes you've heard many a time. My grandson has just started to drive a car, so he's been driving in the cemetery a lot. He can't hit anybody there, but he's got a lot of people under him. That I kind of look at people and I look at the goodness in them. That if they talk loud, that's their problem, not mine. But that I enjoy talking to everybody. I move around in the dining room. I see how nice people are here. And I recommend anybody or any of their friends to come here and enjoy our company, whether you like it or not.
It's adorable.
When you bring groceries from the store, you're unloading them in the kitchen or wherever you load them. You take the pound of butter and you say, "Quit buttering me up." And then you look at the lettuce and mayonnaise and say, close the door, I'm dressing. Like I said, these are the type of jokes you can tell your grandkids. The last time I told jokes, the lady came the next door on my door and said, I'm going to see my grandchildren today. Tell me a few jokes. I says, well, I like the joke of the little boy threw a piece of butter out the window so he could see a butterfly. And when you go to the ballpark, it starts out like the Bible. It starts out in the big inning, and it's always cold there because there's so many fans. And usually the high school kids bring rubber bands with them for the 7th inning stretch. So why did St. Patrick drive all the snakes out of Ireland? He couldn't afford the plane fare. Drink beer, green beer on St. Patrick's Day. It counts as a vegetable. The greatest color in the world is green, especially when you have it in your pockets. That I have other jokes, but I'm thinking of when I used to go to Dominic's. I would be coming home and I would always be caught by trains. If you've ever been on 111th and 115th Street, you're always caught by trains. So this one day I was caught by a train. I was next to the cemetery and the guy was cutting the grass. And I thought, he's got a lot of people under him. And as I sat there, all of a sudden, a guy with tires, a truck full of tires, I thought, he's all tired out. And then a guy came along with all kinds of hardware, doors and stuff like that. I thought, he's bored stiff. But anything that you ever want to find fun in, you can go up to a window and put your hand on it, and guess what? You can feel the pain. I really don't have a lot of jokes today, but that's it.
That's great.
Who knows how to control his wife? Anybody know that?
Repeat it.
What do you call an Irishman who knows how to control his wife?
What?
A bachelor.
That's a good one.
I say the best for last.
That's it. Cross a pillowcase with a stone.
What?
A shamrock. What do they call the Irish jig at McDonald's? A shamrock shake. How did the Irish jig get started? Too much to drink and not enough restrooms. That's a plumber's joke. Why can't you borrow money from a leprechaun? Because they're always a little short. Why don't you iron 4-leaf clovers? Because you don't want to press your luck. I usually have these memorized, but I just didn't have time today because I usually don't tell Irish jokes. What's the difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish funeral? One less drunk. What would you get if you crossed Quasimodo with an Irish football player? the half-pack of Notre Dame. I married an Irishman on St. Patrick's Day. Oh, really? No, O'Reilly. Why do frogs like St. Patrick's Day? Because they're always wearing the green.
You want to see?
Sing that again, Loretta. I like that. Oh, look at the shirt.
Yeah. Marshall Fields, 1989.
Hey, let her do that song. Let her do her bells one more time. Let her do her bells.
She's passing them off.
Oh, she passed it off. Okay.
Your jokes?
You know how Santa Claus got its name?
No.
He went to the Sahara Desert and got his feet in the sand and his hands in the sand. That's why he's called Sandy Claus. I know it's kind of corner. There's a story of the husband and wife. They're 91 years old and they go to the doctor and they say to the doctor, I can't remember anything. He says to them, well, from now on, when you can't remember something and you want to go to the doctor or the dentist or you want to go to church, write it down. So that night they go home and her husband says to her, I'm going out in the kitchen for something to eat. Would you like something? And she says, yes, I would. She said, I would like a dish of ice cream. But she says, write it down. So then she says, I would like strawberries with it. She says, write it down. Then she says, I want whipped cream with it. She says, write it down. He says, I'm getting tired of all this writing down. So anyway, she says, I also want some nuts on it. So he goes out in the kitchen. He's out there for about 20 minutes. And finally he comes back with a plate. The plate has bacon and eggs on it. And she says, where's the toast? What do you call 4 bullfighters in quicksand? Quattro cinco. What do you get from a pampered cow? Spoiled milk. What do you get when you cross the snowman with the vampire? Frostbite. What lies at the bottom of the ocean and twitches? A nervous wreck. Where do you find a dog with no legs? Right where you left him. What is the difference between roast beef and beef soup? Anyone can roast beef. Why do gorillas have good nostrils? I'll get it together. I always like this one about 3 old guys are out walking. First one says, windy, isn't it? And the second one says, no, it's Thursday. And the third one says, I'm thirsty too, let's go out for a beer. Bought a new hearing aid. It cost me $4,000. But it's state of the art. It's perfect. Really, answered the neighbor. What kind is it? 12:30. Morris, an 82-year-old man, went to the doctor to get a physical. A few days later, the doctor saw Morris walking down the street with a gorgeous young woman on his arm. A couple of days later, the doctor spoke to Morris and said, "You're really doing great, aren't you?" Morris replied, "Just doing what you said, Doc. Get a hot mama and be cheerful." The doctor said, "I didn't say that. I said, you got a heart murmur, be careful." And pulled himself slowly, painfully up onto a stool. After catching his breath, he ordered a banana split. The waitress asked kindly, "Crushed nuts?" "No," he replied, "arthritis." Serious hearing problems for a number of years. He went to the doctor, and the doctor was able to have him fitted for a set of hearing aids that allowed the gentleman to hear 100%. An elderly gentleman went back in a month to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Your hearing is perfect. Your family must be really pleased that you can hear again." The gentleman replied, "Oh, I haven't told my family. I just sit around and listen to the conversations. I've changed my will 3 times. Two elderly gentlemen from a retirement center were sitting on a bench under a tree when one turns to the other and says, "Slim, I'm 83 years old now, and I'm just full of aches and pains. I know you're about my age. How do you feel?" Slim says, "I feel like a baby. I've got no hair, I've got no teeth, and I wet my pants 10 minutes ago." Hits a concrete wall. Damn. What do Eskimos get from sitting on the ice? Polaroids. And then I always give boys a couple rubber bands when they go, so they have something for the 7th inning stretch. And believe it or not, I don't have any more things to tell you except when I saw the cookie all crumbled up the other day, it felt crummy, so I sent it to the hospital. You that is here today, look at the person next to you and say, "I'm so-and-so, nice to see you." Everybody here, talk to each other.
I'm so-and-so.
We have so much tragedy in the world. We need a few laughs.
Yes, we do, Loretta.
Laughter is the best medicine.
Amen.
Work like you don't need the money. Love like you've never been hurt. Dance like nobody's watching. Sing like nobody's listening. An Irish friendship wish. May there always be work for your hands to do. May your purse always hold a coin or two. May the sun always shine on your window pane. May a rainbow be certain to follow each rain. May the hand of a friend always be near you. May God fill your heart with gladness to cheer you.